previewing the opener for the 2026 Australian Open. It is going to be a firecracker. Eala, taking on a top 40 caliber opponent. Alycia Parks is getting ready to throw down. You have tuned into the most electric tennis breakdown on the web. We are bringing you deep analysis, straight from the action, as the 2026 Australian Open kicks off the Grand Slam calendar. No more waiting. The off-season work is in the books. Forget the warm-up events. It is showtime. Honestly, we could not have asked for a better matchup. To start things off, high stakes and great storylines right out of the gate. It is a total clash of styles and continents. This match could set the tone for the whole year for these two rising WTA stars. On one side, you have got a player shouldering national pride and coming in hot after a career-best start. That is Eala, the Filipino sensation, fresh out of the Rafa Nadal Academy and newly cracked into the top 50. Across the net, standing tall with one of the scariest serves in the game, a player who can basically knock the racket out of your hand with pure speed. It is the American slugger and former top 40 player on a mission to get back on top. Alycia Parks. This is not just some standard opener. For Eala, this is a legacy match. It is the last piece of the Grand Slam puzzle, her first main draw appearance down under. She is only 20, but she has already hit the clay in Paris, the grass at Wimbledon, and the hard courts in New York. Melbourne was the only one missing from her resume until today. She is on fire to start 2026, hitting the semis in Auckland and absolutely crushing Donna Vekic in straight sets at Kooyong earlier this week. Eala isn't just happy to be here. She is hunting for wins. She is sitting at a career-high ranking of 49 and playing lights-out tennis. But the bracket did her no favors. She drew a dangerous opponent right off the bat. Alycia Parks might be unseeded right now, but do not let that ranking trick you. This woman tied the record for the fastest serve at the US Open, clocking in at 129 miles per hour. When she is dialed in, she is ripping winners from everywhere. Parks is the ultimate high-risk, high-reward player. Her ceiling is massive. If she finds her rhythm, she plays like a top 10 contender. She has got that indoor hardcore background and a chaotic energy that rattles even the calmest players. The storyline writes itself. It is the classic unstoppable force against an immovable object scenario. You have got raw American power against that gritty, strategic Spanish lefty spin. Eala perfected. We have watched her evolve from a junior phenom to a legit pro. We saw her grind it out in the minor leagues and fight through brutal qualifying rounds. Now, in 2026, she is in the main draw automatically and looking like she could go deep. But first, she has to weather the storm coming from the other side of the net. It is heating up in Melbourne. The courts are playing fast, and the Filipino fans are out in full force. All of Southeast Asia is setting their alarms for this one. American fans are tuning in to see if their slugger can find her range. It is Alycia Parks. Round 1 of the Australian Open. Practice is done. Let's get to the fight. Strap in, because we are breaking down everything stats, strategy, history, and what this massive matchup really means. Part 1. The rise of Eala and the historic backdrop. Let's peel this back and see why this match is so critical for the future of Asian tennis. To really get the weight on Eala's shoulders, you have to look at her past year. 2025 was about transition. 2026 is looking like the breakout. Eala pulled off something incredibly tough. She went from a junior Grand Slam champ to a steady tour pro without flaming out. Plenty of kids try that jump and do not make it. Eala took the scenic route. She grinded in the lower-tier 25K tournaments, put in the work across Europe, and soaked up that Mallorca mindset. You can practically see Rafa's fingerprints on her game. The grit, chasing down every ball, and that killer lefty forehand whip. Showing up in Melbourne ranked 49th gives her a huge mental edge. It means she skipped the qualifying rounds while everyone else was roasting in that heat last week trying to get in. Eala was chilling, practicing, and sharpening her skills against pros like Donna Vekic. Being fresh is a serious advantage. She is coming into this tournament absolutely dialed in. Back at the ASB Classic in Auckland, Eala looked like a completely different animal. We watched a competitor who wasn't afraid to hug the baseline. In the past, you'd see her retreating 5 or 6 feet back, playing it safe on defense. But in Auckland, she was standing her ground. She was taking the ball early, right on the rise. That kind of offensive mindset is non-negotiable when you're staring down a power hitter like Parks. If Eala tries to play passive defense against Alycia Parks, she's going to get blown off the court. But if she holds the line, she takes it. Chapter 2. The Alycia Parks Enigma. Let's shift gears and look at who's standing across the net. Alycia Parks is easily one of the most intriguing puzzles on the women's tour right now. From a physical standpoint, she is basically the prototype for the modern tennis athlete. She is tall, insanely athletic, and has a wingspan that makes the net look tiny when she charges forward. But her entire game revolves around one massive weapon, the serve. And when we talk about the Parks serve, it isn't just about raw velocity. Sure, 129 miles per hour is elite speed, but we need to talk about the kick and the placement. On these Australian hard courts, which get super bouncy in the heat, a kick serve from someone with her height is going to explode up over Eala's shoulder. That is a tactical nightmare. Remember, Eala isn't exactly the tallest player out there. If Parks finds her rhythm on the serve, Eala is going to be fielding returns out of her strike zone all afternoon. That is uncomfortable. That is dangerous. But here is the thing: Parks has a massive Achilles heel consistency. That world number 40 label in the title, that reflects her ceiling, not her floor. Lately, she's been stuck around the top 100. The reason? Double faults and unforced errors. Parks doesn't just aim for the lines. She doesn't try to paint them. She tries to hit right through them. When she's clicking, she can take out top 10 talent. When she's off, she can lose to anybody. And she is walking onto this court with a chip on her shoulder. She knows Eala is the media darling right now. Parks thrives on being the underdog. She loves playing the spoiler. She wants to be the one to crash the Filipino party. Chapter 3. The Tactical Battlefield. It is lefty finesse versus raw American power. This is where the match gets decided. The matchup is fascinating because their styles are total opposites. Let's look at the cross-court dynamic. Eala is a lefty. Her bread and butter play is that cross-court forehand into the opponent's backhand wing. Usually, that's money in the bank because right-handers hate dealing with that high spinning ball on their backhand side. The problem is, Parks rocks a two-handed backhand that is flat and violent. If Eala leaves that lefty spin short, Parks is going to step in and crush it down the line. Eala has to keep the ball deep. Now, the return of serve. This is the critical stat. If you dig into the metrics from Eala's recent outings, her return game has leveled up significantly. She is reading the toss much better. But against Parks, you don't have time to react. You have to anticipate. You have to block. She can't take big cuts at the return. She needs to just chip it deep down the middle and reset the point. If she can force Parks to hit 4, 5, or 6 shots in a rally, Eala becomes the heavy favorite. Parks wants 1-2 punch tennis. Serve. Winner. Done. Eala wants to play chess. Now, let's talk movement and heat. It is January in Melbourne. It is scorching. That surface holds the heat. Eala's fitness is top tier. She can run all day. Parks is explosive, but she can fade if the match turns into a grinder. If this thing goes to a third set, the momentum swings hard to Eala. Chapter 4. The mental game and the vibe. Do not sleep on the crowd factor. The Australian Open is basically the Grand Slam of the Asia Pacific. The Filipino community in Melbourne is huge. They are loud, and they show up. We saw it when Manny Pacquiao fought down under. We see it every time a Filipino athlete competes. Court 6, or wherever they put this match, is going to feel like a home game for Eala. The question is, how does Alycia Parks handle a stadium that cheers when she misses some players' crack? Others, like Danielle Collins or Novak Djokovic, feed off that hostile energy. We don't know which version of Parks is going to step out of the tunnel. For Eala, The mental battle is all about managing expectations. The whole country is watching. The social media noise is deafening. It's her first main draw at the AO, breaking into the top 50. That is a lot of pressure to carry. She looked cool at Koyong, but a Grand Slam first round is a different beast entirely. Nerves are going to be a factor in the first few games. If she gets broken early, can she shake it off? Her composure has been her superpower lately. She doesn't panic. Chapter 5. The conditions at the Happy Slam. We have to mention the court speed. Reports from the qualifiers say the courts are playing medium fast this year. That helps Parks on the serve. Sure, but it actually helps Eala on defense. Eala is an elite counterpuncher. She can use Parks' own pace against her. When Parks fires a 90-mile-per-hour ground stroke, Eala doesn't need to generate her own power. She just needs to redirect the traffic. Watch out for Eala's backhand down the line. That is the shot that catches power hitters sleeping. This isn't just about chalking up a win or a loss. It's a true litmus test for where she stands. If Eala takes this, she's likely staring down a seed in round 2. But she'd walk onto that court knowing she can hang with the heavy hitters. Plus, a victory here basically locks her inside the top 50. It sends a message to the rest of the tour. Don't pigeonhole me as a clay specialist. I'm a threat on every surface. On the flip side, Parks needs this to spark a comeback. She is starving for ranking points just to secure automatic entry into the upcoming majors. She's playing to keep her career afloat and maintain her spot on the ladder. And you know what they say, backs against the wall makes you dangerous. Here's the blueprint for an Eala win. She has to land a high percentage of first serves, so Parks can't tee off on the second ones. She needs to keep her returns deep to drag out the rallies and really use that lefty slice to stretch Parks' way out into the doubles alley. For Parks, it is full throttle stacking up aces, keeping points short, and hunting that Eala forehand immediately. All right, let's bring it home. We are right on the verge of the season opener. The 2026 Australian Open is officially live, and we are getting a massive showdown from day one. It is Eala versus Parks, the Philippines against the States, precision versus raw power. Expect the volume to be cranked up. It's going to be blistering fast and absolute drama. I need to see your thoughts down in the comment section. Who have you got? Are you backing the Philippine Phantom, Alycia, to keep climbing the ladder, or do you think Parks' explosive game is just going to overwhelm her on these quick Melbourne courts? Drop your score lines below. Is it a straight sets washout or a 3-set grinder? Don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that bell. I'll be back right when the final ball is hit with a deep dive, checking the numbers, reaction quotes, and a look ahead at round 2. We are tracking every single ace, break opportunity, and headline moment throughout this entire tournament. Stay glued to the screen. Tennis season is back in a big way. That's it for me right now. Have a blast watching. Soak up the action. And let's find out who can handle the pressure down under.